This video is purely speculation based. Kool-Aid drinkers advised.
The Detroit Lions head into KC to play the Kansas City Chiefs, and there's been a lot of speculation for the past, I would say, 7 days or so of if Mike Evans will become a Detroit Lion. And while we've heard different things, I'll just say this. I have heard the same things that you have heard from probably the same place. I have maybe a little bit more insight, my guy with the guy. And it's been coming out for the past week that there is a deal in place, a deal trying to get done for Mike Evans. But what does Mike Evans have to do with Isaiah Buggs? Why did I start this tweet with an Isaiah Buggs tweet? Well, because from what I understand, people have been tagging me on Twitter and messaging me, asking me if I have any inside information of if Isaiah Buggs is getting traded, because apparently one of the nights at 3 a.m, Isaiah Buggs tweets something and it goes out and is quickly deleted. And then we see this. Now, Isaiah Buggs was the lone person, from my understanding, that was not in practice today. And this came out at 5:28 p.m. today. Says, I'm good, but just know situations change. 96 ball forever. Y'all gon' see. And it sent the whole Twitterverse in an uproar, because let's be real. Twitter, that's where all the breaking news, all the information is going to come first through Twitter. Then it's going to come through your NFL networks. Then it's going to come through your Sports Center. Then it'll trickle down to the local media. But it's going to break on Twitter first. And we've heard that Mike Evans could be on the way to Detroit. When I say we, I mean you and I, from the same person, right? So it makes me wonder, is there anything going on that might involve Buggs? Now, we are very thin at the defensive tackle position. It was even just an off the wall kind of connection that we were going to get, that maybe Chris Jones might be involved. Now, we've been through the ringer when it comes to cryptic tweets. Sometimes I think this stuff is done on purpose, right? But it's something that I want you to notice about this tweet that may give some legitimacy to maybe something going on more than meets the eye. If you look here with Isaiah Buggs, this used to be him in a Lions uniform. Now it's just a black picture, right? There is zero. Let's go to it. There is zero. Okay. Nothing here but black. Now, I don't know if this was here. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That is his. I don't know if this was like this. I don't remember seeing this, but I could just be wrong. But I do know that this right here was not. It was a picture of him in his 96 uniform. There is nothing Detroit Lions anywhere on his bio page. Now, my memory is not the greatest, so I don't know if there was ever anything like the Lions defensive tackle. You guys would know better than me, but I'm not sure if it has anything to do with a potential trade coming up. Now, here's this was at 4:35, an hour earlier, and this sent everyone in a tizzy. Could they be connected? I don't know. I'm more motivated than ever. This was from Chris Jones, and this was an hour before the Isaiah Buggs tweet. So could it be something? Perhaps. Could it be nothing? Perhaps. But I am a strong believer in the lack of coincidences. If you know what a coincidence is actually a very rare occurrence that people like to chalk things up to coincidence, but it's a coincidence is much less than it happens, much less than you may think, right? So are the two connected? I have no idea. Does this have anything to do with Mike Evans? Now, according to Justin Rogers, I guess I initially saw this through Pride of Detroit. They tweeted something. I went and found it. Then Justin Rogers was right on it and said from his source that Isaiah Buggs at this moment is not moving, right? But I have no idea. And we know that the deadline for a Mike Evans trade, well, the deadline is, it can happen whenever. So it could happen after week 1, after week 2. Mike Evans said that he won't negotiate for a contract after the 9th. He wants to focus on the season. I can respect that. He doesn't want the distraction of contract negotiations. So it could have nothing to do with Mike Evans or Chris Jones. It could have everything to do with Mike Evans or Chris Jones, or it could be nothing at all. That's the thing. We're all going to get swept up in this Twitter stuff. I think to some regard they do it on purpose, but who knows? But it reminds me of when Teddy Bridgewater a few weeks ago, before Teddy Bridgewater got signed. It was all of this stuff that something big is coming, and we thought maybe Chase Young. I know back then it was Chase Young. This is before Mike Evans. It was Chase Young. He was coming to Detroit, and all it wound up being is Teddy Bridgewater, which we knew that the Lions had reached out to him and that he had come here for a visit. So it was like, it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't what Twitter was hyping it up to be. But I'll just say this. Where there is smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There is some smoke when it comes to this Mike Evans trade. I would say it's more smoke with the Mike Evans than Chris Jones, and there's almost nothing at all on Chase Young. So could Isaiah Buggs be on the trade block? Could it be something? Could it be nothing? I have no idea. I do know that from my experience just following this for the last couple of years, there usually is something to this. Somebody somewhere is saying something. I do know Brad Holmes came out and said in his press conference that we were interested in Trey Lance was basically completely false. He was like, I don't know where they got that narrative from. Have no idea. I don't know, right? So I'm not saying that Brad Holmes is a liar. I'm just saying somebody was being deceiving. It was either Diana Rossini or Brad Holmes, right? Even though there's nothing wrong, that's part of his job is to be deceptive when it comes to what he's gonna do with the team, right? So I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell come out and say we were looking at this player. I don't know, like a player to be on the trade block. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think, even though they're saying it's no smoke, there's no fire, do you think there's anything to the potential of Isaiah Buggs not being at practice, scrubbing his social media of all Detroit Lions, the cryptic tweets? Do you think there's anything there, or are we reading too much into this? This is where we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is part of social media. This is part of the media is tweets. They are, because people are in their feelings sometimes. They tweet stuff, they delete it, and by that time it's gone, it's screenshotted or something. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. I truly believe that it's some fire somewhere. We just don't know where.